Good afternoon. I'm Julie Chapman, live in the city of Troy on 5th Avenue. A devastating day as the Alpha bowling lanes goes up in flames. We're going to show you live right now the pictures behind me here. Firefighters have been on the scene since around 9:30 this morning, and the Alpha bowling alley destroyed. Now, this building has been here from the 1930s, holds a lot of memories for a lot of people here. The good news is no one's been hurt, but this did cause for some really concerning times this morning. A couple firefighters went in, a couple of Mayday calls. They ended up being all right, but there was a lot of serious concerns as smoke and flames quickly engulfed this building before firefighters could get here. They said their response times were compromised, and there was a lot of concern for the two neighboring buildings, one a locksmith next door and a furniture company. We have live team coverage coming up in the next several minutes. Our Evan Siri has been here from the beginning. He has the nuts and bolts about exactly what happened here this morning and how this devastating fire just really engulfed this building in a matter of minutes. Also, our Erica Lee is reporting from the school district nearby, which has also been impacted by the tremendous smoke that just billowed and could be seen for miles. Also, this is an older area in Troy. It's devastating to a lot of people who grew up here. There's a lot of nostalgia. Again, I mentioned that building has been here from the 1930s. Troy High School, many schools around here held a number of fundraisers and community events, you know, and they watched this building and this business, which was a family-owned business that meant so much to so many people, just become destroyed today. So before we get to exactly what happened here this morning, a lot of concerns from people when they were thinking about just Cohoes a year and a half ago and how that one small fire in the back of that building basically took out that entire downtown area. Those same concerns were felt this morning, but fortunately the fire chief tells us they were able to contain the fire damage just to the bowling alley and the nearby buildings that we mentioned, the furniture store on the right side and that locksmith on the left side, only water damage. Mayor Patrick Madden is out of town today, but we were able to catch up with Troy Deputy Mayor. This is Monica Kuzieski, and she's going to tell us about this devastating fire and the community impact. Monica, you can see a lot of people around here today. They're coming out, a lot of broken hearts.
Absolutely, absolutely. This the Alpha Bowling Lanes is such a landmark institution in this neighborhood and has given to the community for decades. This current family that owns the operation now has owned it since the 1960s. Tremendous community partner. So I'm sure that the community and the city will embrace them and hold them dearly while they work through this time.
It was frightening this morning because, as I had mentioned, two firefighters went in and had called for Mayday. They didn't need to be rescued, according to the chief. They were able to get out on their own. But just the last couple of days, the Fires Union has come out to the meetings and said they're very concerned about the budget cuts. They're very concerned about understaffing. And this was just on Thursday. How does the city feel about this moving forward?
Well, absolutely. Our firefighters, the safety of them is of paramount importance. The chiefs, we have great chiefs in leadership at the department. The biggest thing today is that those two firefighters that did call Mayday, they were safe. They were able to get out of the building safely. We have our crews. We did do a recall, as the chief said earlier, so that we could make sure that we had the appropriate staffing. But the beauty of our region as well is our mutual aid, by being able to put that call out and be able to get the help from other municipalities as well too. 3-alarm fire is certainly something to contend with, and our firefighters did an excellent job to contain it to the physical building itself and be able to defensively fight fire so that it did not spread to the surrounding buildings.
Again, we do want to mention, just to reiterate, that no one's been hurt, but that had to be on your mind, especially when you saw how quickly these flames were spreading, and you had to think back just a year and a half ago with Cohoes and how quickly that just demolished its downtown.
Absolutely, absolutely. The safety of the public as well as our own employees is great, is a huge thing for us. So I think the ability to be able to fight the fire, this is the professionalism of our crews itself, is a testament to what they've been able to do today to make sure that the public was safe, the buildings were safe, as well as our firefighters.
Okay, Monica Kuzieski, thank you so much. Good luck today. I know it's a tough day ahead. Now, when this fire started, again, shortly after 9:30 this morning, the smoke could be seen flame billowing for miles away. This entire area is shut down right now as people, rushed in to see exactly what was happening. And it wasn't long before it started to collapse. Right now, we're going to go live to our Evan Siri. He was on the scene since shortly after this happened. And Evan, tell us about the interview you had with the chief, and then also tell us about what you encountered when you first got here this morning.
Yeah, Julie, thank you so much, and thank you for Deputy Mayor for talking to us this afternoon. As you said, my photographer Joe and I were headed to Troy for a completely different story. We were on 787. We saw the smokes from miles away. That gives you an idea of just how devastating this fire was for our viewers back home. Let's take a look at these devastating images as I kind of tell you what happened here just before 10 a.m., around 9:30 to be exact. A passerby actually called in this fire. All this information right now coming from Albany Fire Chief Eric McMahon. 2 firefighters, as Julie did mention, were initially declared missing. A mayday was called. They were thankfully located. Mutual aid from several fire departments, including Albany, Watervliet, and Cohoes, were all called on to the scene here. They are still knocking that fire down. As we were here, we witnessed the iconic bullpen get knocked down, as well as the rest of this building. Just some really difficult moments to watch. Somehow, some way, these fire crews were able to rescue the other buildings that are connected to this, including the furniture store here on 5th Avenue and the hardware store on 5th Avenue. Those buildings are okay. There was one residential garage that was affected. Again, though, thankfully, nobody was hurt. Here is Fire Chief Eric McMahon with the latest.
It's a testament to good luck and God's will. That's what it's a testament to. All right, initially we had thought that we had 2 firefighters that declared a mayday. How rapidly the conditions deteriorated, it was to say that it was tense for those several minutes, it would be an understatement.
A testament to God's will and good luck. Powerful words from Fire Chief Eric McMahon, who has just been the fire chief here for only a month, and what an absolute challenge his fire crews had to deal with today. Julie, sending it back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you for that. Again, I want to give you some live pictures just behind me here that you can see what's going on. 5th Avenue, Troy, the Alpha bowling lanes. These firefighters are dealing with this thick, heavy smoke. This has been the case ever since they arrived this morning. And as Evan pointed out, a lot of good news when they got here, because it was a very tense situation. It was a fast-moving fire. There were propane tanks in the back that were exploding. But the good news is those 2 firefighters made it out. They weren't hurt. The neighboring buildings were saved, except for some water damage, and they're really grateful that this community cooperated as well, because the area didn't have to be evacuated except for the immediate homes, but the people came around to support, and a lot of them are devastated because this is a long-time community business, a family-owned business. There's a lot of nostalgia, and this heavy smoke that just billowed into the air really rattled a lot of cages for people who live in this area, and it also could be seen miles away, right near the school, which then raised a new concern. So right now we're going to go live to our Erica Lee. She's outside one of the local schools in this area, which is going to be dismissing. Erica, am I right about that?
Well, Julie, it looks like some of the kids have actually already gotten out of school. We weren't getting word just yet on what time the dismissal was going to be, but the kids coming from Lansingburg High School have started to walk by us as we've been waiting here to do this hit. As you can see, we're quite a few blocks away, but the fire is still billowing behind me. We could only get this close to the school because all of the streets are blocked off. So the Lansingburg Central School District said there's no power right now at Lansingburg High School, Rensselaer Park Elementary, or Knickerbocker Middle School, and they decided to dismiss the kids early. What they were doing was getting ready to figure out how to get the kids home. They're encouraging parents, do not come pick your children up. This is only going to cause more confusion and more congestion in an area where folks are already not exactly sure what they should be doing with all of these street closures here. They were arranging bus transportation for these kids, whether or not they normally take the bus. And as I mentioned, the high school kids were walking by here just a little while ago, and so they said they've already been dismissed from school. I imagine if the elementary school and the middle school haven't gotten out yet, that's going to be happening shortly as well, and we should start to see at least some of the middle school kids heading home for the day as well. Now, again, for parents, please don't go to the school, please don't call. They have got the emergency contact information out there. That's why you fill out those cards at the beginning of the year with who to call, and if there's an emergency, who should be called instead of you if they can't reach you. They're going to get your kids home or to a trusted friend or relative at some point this afternoon. Also, huge traffic impact in this area. As I mentioned, lots of the streets are closed, so if you can avoid this area for the rest of the day, I would say this is going to continue to be a problem. Julie?
Erica Lee reporting live with our team coverage. We want to show you right now just the bystanders who have come out to see the firefighters continuing this response. This response will go on for many more hours. There are a number of hot spots that need to be put out. A lot of the kids have their cell phones out. They're taking videos. Many of them were here just a short time ago where they took part in the events that take place at this bowling alley. It is a community gathering place, especially for our youth. But as you can see, the firefighters are grateful. We have some decent weather today to put out this fire, which can be difficult throughout the day because putting out those hot spots will not be easy because a lot of the wood that was inside this bowling alley was treated wood, a lot of oil-based, and that tends to burn, and it burns hot. Again, the building is demolished, and there's a lot of questions that they're going to be asking from this point. What started this fire? Also, they're going to take a look at the union concerns about understaffing when it comes to firefighter and emergency response. The union heads said that they were very vocal about the fact they feel understaffed and they feel like they don't have up-to-date equipment. So that's another question that's going to be answered. And we're also taking a look at the nostalgia and how the city will plan to move forward after losing such a historic piece. So again, this is going to be going on for much of the day today. Keep it here to Spectrum News all day. We will continue to be providing you live, up-to-the-minute coverage of the response, but we do want to reiterate that the Alpha bowling lanes has been destroyed. No one's been hurt, and Spectrum News will have complete coverage for you throughout the day. That does it for our team coverage now. I'm Julie Chapman. Right now, we're going to send it back to your weather on the ones.